This is the Bengals Pulse, the heartbeat of our victorious Cincinnati Bengals.
Can't miss player. I really do. A lot of people think I'm crazy. I think when he gets on the field, he's going to produce. He's going to produce at a high level.
They are almost unbeatable in December and January.
We're on another level. Thank you.
And I am going to become the first Bengals broadcaster to call a Super Bowl title. It's happening.
Yes.
It's happening this year.
In a row, Mon. 10 in a row.
All right, who day, Bengal fans? He is Mon, Eric. I am Jake. This is the Bengals Pulse, the heartbeat of our Cincinnati Bengals. Pre-gaming it for Vikings Bengals that starts now in just under an hour. A big day, guys, in Cincinnati sports. Obviously, the 2025 era of Jake Browning begins at quarterback for the Bengals, and the Cincinnati Reds going for the sweep over the Cubs. If the Reds win today and the Mets lose to the Nationals, the Reds jump up to the wild card spot with 6 games left in the season. This is a big day for Cincinnati sports, but the reason why we're here is pre-gaming the Bengals Vikings matchup. You guys ready to do this?
Yes.
Let's go. Let's get it. I'm ready.
Let's
Mon
go.
needs to get Mon. We got to get Mon a little bit of fire over there. You're sitting right next to him. Get him fired up. Last week,
I think Mon's in his distinguished fancy clothes today. I don't know if you guys see this, but he is very fancy today. Clean shaven, fancy shirt. It's a different Mon. This is a business Mon today. This is a business trip for Mon to Minnesota. This is a business trip.
I went to church today, and I prayed about a toe. And I did not pray for any videos from anybody's wife. So it's all good. Yeah, I went to church, got back, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm so bummed about Joe, man. I got to be real. I'm subdued. It's ripped my – I don't know, but hey, let's get the 3-0. Let's talk about it.
Hey, you know what's going to unsubdue you is Jake Browning going out and shining, right? I mean, if Jake Browning does go out and play well today and shines, I think a lot of Bengal fans are going to be feeling better.
That's right. My daughter loves Jake Browning. She does like Jake Browning, and let's do this.
And you like Jake Browning's girlfriend.
Yeah.
and listen, he got in trouble on the last show. He's a Mon of distinction today. He's not going to talk about Jake Browning's girlfriend. We're going to talk about the Bengals. And you know what? We're going to end this show. We're going to come here after the game, and we're going to recreate that high five. It's going to be 3-0, baby. 3-0, and we're going to have a new clip for next week.
When the Bengals win today, we'll do that.
It's going to be more like this.
Listen, we're pumped. We're ready to go. Maybe we need to apologize some because we did go on some rants on our last show. I went on a rant on Zach Taylor, but I definitely believe that everything I said he needs to listen to. So I do apologize for being a rant. But Zach Taylor, we are looking to you. This is your team. This is your proof that you're a good coach. So before we're turning the page. This is Jake Browning's team. This is hopefully about to be 3-0 and on a path to the playoffs. Any final thoughts on that before it? No rants, but before we get into breaking down to this game, any last words to say other than being worried about Toe Burrow?
No, I mean, I don't think we are negative about Zach Taylor. Yeah, we mentioned some critical things, but at the same time, we said that Dan Pitcher could be a head coach very easily next year, and Zach Taylor's probably going to be the head coach for the Bengals next year because we expect them to do really well with Jake Browning.
Jake Owens needs to stay out of the comments. Jake, we're out doing a preview show. Don't worry about some of those hilarious comments.
You got to throw up Kane. You got to throw up Kane.
Listen, this is the
I went to church today. I went to church. Kane, read the good book.
Kane, listen, Kane, you can't drop that while we're talking, dude. That's good stuff, and that's hysterical. He is. Mon is. He has admitted it. He has openly admitted it.
Oh, Lord.
Did not.
All right, moving on. Let's talk.
I think the good thing. Well, let me say this about. Obviously, the good news is we haven't talked about this, but the good news is that the surgery did go well, right? We didn't talk about that. Zach Taylor did come out and say surgery went well. He's going to be off of it for about 5 or 6 weeks. It sounds like. But although he's not making the next 2 trips, sounds like he will be making the following away games, and he's going to be around the team quite a bit, just like he was before. The last time he was injured. I'm going to say this really quick, and obviously we're all hurting about Joe, but again, I said it last show, do not underestimate Jake Browning. The dude is a baller. He is a gamer. We've seen it already. He has been in this situation before. This is not new to him, right? This is this pressure of having to go out and try to carry a playoff team. That pressure has been there before, but he is surrounded with a lot of great players. He just needs to make sure he is safe with the football, doesn't lose us football games, and this team is going to be fine with Jake Browning. I really, truly believe that. And I think today a lot of Bengal fans are going to see the same thing. We're going to talk about the Vikings inactive list and who's healthy and who's not. The Vikings getting some guys back on defense, key guys. So it is going to be a good matchup, but I do believe that Jake Browning is going to get the job done. And this is a chip on the shoulder for Jake Browning. We know he hates the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, and we said this before, and we'll say it again. We are Bengals fans to the end. I'm going to be Dr. Seuss over here. We're Yes, I love Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow gives us so much of a head start and so much of a jump to getting to the playoffs and dominating in a Super Bowl. But at the end of the day, we're Bengals fans. I don't care if David Klingler comes out and gets us to the Super Bowl. Whoever does it, does it. I want the Bengals to get to the Super Bowl and win it. I love Joe Burrow, but it is what it is. It's Jake Browning's team, so we're here for that. So let's get to this matchup, and let's talk about the inactives first. The Bengals list of inactives came out: Cam Taylor-Britt, Jermaine Burton, Tanner Hudson, McKinley Jackson, and Shamar Stewart. Really disappointed to see CTB get injured in practice. Guys, why don't you give us your thoughts on the inactive list and how that's going to impact the game? Mon?
Yeah, McKinley Jackson must be in the biggest doghouse on planet Earth.
Yeah, wow.
I think
Him
with
and,
Howard
well, right
Cross-
next to Jermaine.
Yeah, Howard Cross being active. I think the backup center, the center for the Vikings is out, so the backup is in there. I guess they're going to try to see if his quickness can disrupt that center and maybe get some pressure on Carson Wentz. Cam Taylor, obviously, I would love to have him out there, but that's where our depth is going to be tested, and it's going to have to be a team effort. This offense is going to have to help the defense. This is the week for this Bengals running game to take off. We'll talk about that in the next few minutes.
Yeah, I do think it is a little concerning, right? We look at this inactive list. Obviously, Cam Taylor with the hamstring issue during practice this week. T. Huddy, again, unfortunately, interesting, but unfortunate that he is on this list, because I think he is a weapon for anyone, but maybe Joe Burrow's guy, who knows. Obviously, Shamar with the ankle. But isn't it a little concerning that 2 of these guys on this inactive list are guys in the doghouse? Like, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but when you're healthy scratching guys like Jermaine Burton and McKinley Jackson, who were high draft picks, that to me is very concerning. And again, I would, at this point, if McKinley Jackson, Jermaine Burton are not going to be going on game days, I'm not really sure what the point is of having them on the roster. I mean, those are 2 spots, guys, right, that you could easily have somebody that can contribute. These guys seem to be in the serious doghouse with the Bengals, and it's going to be a shame if we go the entire season and those 2 guys are on the inactive list every single week. Just kind of a waste as far as I'm concerned, but it is what it is.
Yeah, at the same time, it sucks that they're a waste. There's another Jackson Carman, another 2 high round draft picks that we are essentially moving on for. But part of me does think, hey, at least we're letting the coaches have a say, because how many years past has Mon come out on here and said, Mike Brown's drafted these guys. Mike Brown thinks they should be out there. The coaches are listening to Mike Brown. Well, you know what? We wasted high draft picks on them, but our coaching staff have the self-awareness to realize that, hey, we've got better guys that came in, so they're inactive. So I am encouraged by it for the coaching staff. I'm discouraged for the scouting staff and our draft room. But you know what? What's worse than making a mistake on a draft pick? repeatedly making that over and over by putting him out there every game.
I mean,
So I'm encouraged by it.
do you think we could get any kind of trade capital on for either one of those
I don't know.
guys?
Jennifer and Natty Ron bring up a good point. Obviously, Burton's wide receiver 6, and McKinley Jackson's the last defensive lineman on the roster.
Yes.
All of our defensive linemen can't be active. All of our wide receivers can't be active. So, I get it. You can't activate all of them, but maybe in October when that trade deadline comes in, if somebody wants to take a shot, they don't have a lot of production on film, but they are high draft picks with the outstanding measurable. So maybe somebody could give us a 7th or a 6th. But guys, injuries happen in the NFL. Injuries happen. This is the way the coaches are trying to, let them know we don't trust you. We don't trust you.
Yeah.
They'll get an opportunity. We'll see what they do with that opportunity. Trust me, they are. Because injuries happen in the NFL.
Well, and Jermaine Burton would be the biggest one in my opinion, because there are wide receiver needed teams out there already, and injury is going to happen. And every week that we are removed from the incidents that he had where he's not playing, he's not putting anything on film, but he's also not putting anything bad out there. So, you get removed from that. Somebody might look at it and say, hey, this guy was a high draft pick. Let's take a chance. Let's throw a 5th or a 6th. It's possible. Moving on here, Vikings inactives were also announced. This is one we were really looking at. The some of it broke our way, some of it didn't. But wide receiver Tim Jones, backup tackle Justin School, center Ryan Kelly, tight end Nick Vanette, defensive end Elijah Williams. Apologize for this typing there. The big ones there, Christian Darrisaw is playing, as well as Harrison Smith. To me, the big thing that comes out is we've got Christian Darrisaw coming off of his first game back since the torn ACL. He hasn't been out there in live action, so going up against Trey Hendrickson, that's going to be interesting to see. And if he does get a little shaky, his backup tackle is Justin School, and he's out. And then their center is out with the concussion. So I'll throw it to you guys. Looking at this inactive list, does this really set up for a feast day for the Bengals defensive line?
I mean, if the Bengals defense can't get it done today, I don't know what to tell you, right? You got a backup quarterback, a journeyman who, again, I think is a very good matchup for this Bengals defense in Carson Wentz. And then you got a banged up offensive line. Yes, Darrisaw is playing for the first time this year, coming off of an ACL. We know as Bengal fans that is not always easy when those guys do that. So I would say Darrisaw is probably going to be on a very short leash if they do see some issues, or even being in game shape, right? I mean, being in football game shape is a whole different thing. So I think this is the day, and I'm going to talk about it when we talk about the matchups, but I think this is the day that the Bengals defense needs to feast, and I think they need to create turnovers, get to the quarterback. We got to get some sacks, guys. We're getting some pressures, right? I mean, Trey leads the league in pressures, but we have got to get to the quarterback and get him down on the ground. Carson Wentz, obviously a very big quarterback, stronger guy. We got to get hats to the football and get him down on the ground. But this is the day to do it. I mean, this Vikings offense is banged up. We didn't even talk about Aaron Jones, right? No Aaron Jones, the starting running back for the Vikings. He's out on IR. We're going to be seeing quite a few backups on the Vikings offense this week. Our defense needs to shine. Al Golden needs to do his job today and earn his paycheck and get to the quarterback and create some pressures. Come on.
Yeah, the Vikings have struggled on offense. I hope they don't wake up today at home. The Bengals defense, I think, is a good matchup. Minnesota is going to try to run the ball. They don't want to put the hands. They don't want Carson Wentz to try to win this game. So, of course, we got to be better than we were the last 2 weeks. The Bengals have given up a lot of yards. They've gotten those opportunistic turnovers. Let's hope that continues, the turnovers, that is. But the defense has really got to come in and make a statement today, because the Vikings are really struggling on offense. It's a good matchup for us, but it's going to come down to coaching. The head coach for the Vikings is special, and he's one of the best coaches in football. Trust me, he's going to have them ready. Zach Taylor and his staff better have his team ready.
All right, so let's just get right into it.
Keys to the game.
I
All
like
right,
how
so
Mon draws 3 lines in there.
yeah, we need a translation of what Mon was trying to do there. Let's get into breaking down this game. You guys kind of just touched on it a little bit there. We do have a big matchup. Once again, we're playing the Vikings, and it's backup quarterback versus backup quarterback. I think that we do have a distinct advantage with Jake Browning. Saw him come out and go 4-3 2 years ago, jumping into an offense. We're a couple years removed from that. The Bengals have a better handle on how to utilize his strengths. So let's go to that first. Let's talk about this quarterback matchup. Jake Browning, who's been in the offense for years, versus Carson Wentz, who has been in Minnesota since August 28th, not even a full month in that offense. So thoughts on the quarterback matchup here first. I'll go to Mon first.
Yeah, Brian Flores is going to throw the kitchen sink at Jake Browning. So we want Jake Browning to be smart. I don't want him to be a risk taker today. We can't lose a turnover battle, and that starts with him. We know what happened last week. We won that game. It's great. But we need to establish the run to help Jake Browning. We've got to help him because Flores is going to send everybody at him. He wants him to make a mistake. Carson Wentz, his best days are behind him. I'm sorry. He's not as athletic as he used to be. I think our defense can get some turnovers from him. It's all about protecting Browning and setting him up to succeed. We got to set him up to succeed. And Dan Pitcher, Zach Taylor, you guys, hopefully they developed one hell of a game plan to protect him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, I said at the beginning of the show, I believe in Jake Browning. I really do. I mean, I know I was hard on him this preseason, and again, for every reason I should have been. He did not look very good in the preseason, but the guy is a gamer. Mon said it. I mean, this is Dan Pitcher and Zach Taylor. I mean, these coaches, when you lose your elite quarterback, it's now it's down to coaching. Now we're going to see how good these guys are coaching, and they need to have a good game plan for Jake Browning. A good game plan for Jake Browning is being balanced on offense, right? Not having Jake Browning drop back 40, 50 times a game throwing the ball. He's not Joe Burrow. That's not a formula for success for this Bengals offense. They need to come out. They need to run the ball. And guys, I don't know if you know, but the Vikings are not good at stopping the run. This Vikings defense, even though you look at it and there's some big names on this defense, they have not played well as a unit. This is the week the Bengals need to come out and establish a run, have a good balance for Jake Browning. Don't make Jake Browning go out winning the football game like he had to last week. Run the football and try to be more balanced on offense than what we've seen. And I think defensively, it's about our front seven. Our secondary is banged up right now. There's no doubt about it. Losing Cam Taylor-Britt today is not going to help with Justin Jefferson, but it's up to this front seven, right? You got a banged up Vikings offensive line. You got their starting running back is out. Their starting quarterback is out. You cannot let a backup quarterback and a backup running back and a backup offensive line move the ball up and down the field on your defense. So, again, I said it before. This is the Al Golden show. The front seven of this Bengals defense has got to take over this football game and create turnovers, get them behind the chains, force Carson Wentz to have to throw the football. And I think they will. I think this Bengals defense has made plays when it has had to. But I think today we see a different Bengals defense, a more balanced one that is able to, not give up, what's the old saying? Letting them drive the field and then
Bend, don't break.
Yeah, the bend but don't break, right? We can't see that this week. I don't want to see bend,
For sure.
don't break. I want to see the Bengals defense go out and dominate.
For sure. And I want to throw this stat out there because people do throw out there that Jake Browning throws interceptions. Well, he threw interceptions last week. Hadn't played in a couple of years.
Yeah.
League for across league history, highest completion percentage for quarterbacks, minimum 200 passing attempts. Jake Browning 70.4, Joe Burrow 68.5. I'd like to say Jake Browning is an accurate quarterback. He needs to make good decisions this week. I think that he will. I think being in the offense all week is going to help him. With that, let's get to our predictions for this game.
AFC North predictions.
We'll go to Mon first since Jake loves that. Mon, give us your
No.
prediction.
Let me tell you what I love. Being here live with Mon, when that plays, I just watched his face the entire time. It is absolutely priceless watching him watch that. It's the best. Go ahead, Mon.
We're going to drag him into the technology age. Mon, give us your predictions.
I think it's going to be 28-20. Cincinnati's going to win. It's really simple, guys. This isn't rocket science. You got to win the turnover battle. That's what they got to do. They got to win the turnover battle. If the Bengals with Jake Browning at quarterback, if they don't find a way to run the ball against a team that has given up 168 yards average per game, the Vikings are 30th or 31st in the NFL in rush defense. If we can't run against this team, I don't know who constructed this Bengals roster. Okay. They have got to get the running game going. That's the only way where we can continue winning, get to the dance, which is the playoffs, and hopefully Joe could come back in late December and lead us to a long playoff run. But it starts today, one game at a time. Ball control, no turnovers, or win the turnover battle. 28-20, Cincinnati's going to win. And we need a big play from our defense, and we need our running backs to get about 150 yards on the ground today.
Jake?
Yeah, I'm going to say 31-14 Bengals. I do. I think I said before, I think Jake Browning shines today. Again, you have to understand in the football world, throwing a backup quarterback in the middle of a game is not an easy thing to do. Those guys don't get a lot of reps at any level, high school, college, NFL. Those backup guys do not get a lot of reps, and they're not a big part of the game plan at all. So this week, obviously, Jake was number one. The game plan has been built around him. We're going to see how good Zach Taylor and Dan Pitcher really is. Bengals have to run the football.
Breaking news.
Timeout by Mon. Go ahead, Mon.
Jay Glazer. Joe Burrow underwent surgery on Friday. The 3-month return that's been mentioned is viewed as very optimistic. That's if he really pushes it. A postseason return, if Cincy makes the playoffs, is more realistic than the regular season return. So that's a positive note.
Yeah.
That's a positive note. So again, we can't worry about that now. One game at a time. We got to get to the dance. Sorry, Jake.
Yep.
No, you're good. You're good. That's good news.
Yeah.
No, I just think this Bengals offense needs to run the football, like Mon said. You got to establish the run. If the Bengals cannot run the ball today against one of the worst run defenses in the NFL, we are in serious shit. I'm just going to tell you, if we can't run the ball today, Bengal fans, we are in trouble. So I expect Bengals to come out and run the football. I think Chase Brown's going to have a big game today.
So, but we're almost out of time here, but I do want to throw this question at you guys. I do know, yes, we should establish the run today. This is the team we should be able to run against. We saw last week that it was Jamar Chase really shouldering the load for the team. Does this become, we talked about Jake Browning versus Carson Wentz, but is this really a Jamar Chase versus Justin Jefferson game? Thoughts, guys?
I think Jamar Chase is going to be Jamar Chase. He saw what he did last week, 160 yards, I think 14 receptions. He's unstoppable. Him and Jefferson are 1A, 1B, best wide receivers in football. I think it's bigger than that. I mean, let me just ramble here for 1 second. Man, personally, me right now, this is just Mon talking. I'm sick and tired of Madden stats. I don't care if Jamar Chase gets 20 catches a year. I really don't. Everybody wants Madden stats. These unbelievable 50 touchdown passes. I want to win, man.
Yeah.
I want a running game that runs the ball and controls the clock. Said it. But
you want the graphic?
No. But what I'm trying to say is,
yes,
I just need them. I don't. Let's not get fixated on these sexy stats. Those are great, dandy. I love it. Let's win some games.
Yeah, and I don't really think. Again, I'm with Mo. I don't think this game is a Jamar Chase versus Justin Jefferson. I don't think it is, and I don't think those two think it is. The media is asking Jamar this week about that. Jamar doesn't give a shit about that. He doesn't care about that. Jamar wants to win. He doesn't care about that. This game is about Jake Browning coming in and playing a smart football game, and it's about us being able to run the football, and it's about our defense being able to go out and shut down a banged up Minnesota offense. This is not a Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase thing. I would be shocked if Justin Jefferson has a big game today. I really would. I think really, if you're the Bengals defense and Al Golden, all you got to do is take him out of the game. I mean, there's no one else. You got a backup quarterback, a backup running back. Take Justin Jefferson out of the game. But this is not a Justin Jefferson versus a Jamar Chase thing. This is the Bengals need to go 3-0, and how they need to go 3-0. They need to run the football, and they need to play well on defense, and we will win this football game.
I like it. I will. I'm not going to make predictions. Every time I make a prediction, it goes sideways. The only thing that I will say is I do believe that this is a Noah Fant game. I think the type of offense we want to run with Jake Browning is more of a Noah Fant game. You know, we're seeing the play action, the boots, the tight end sneaking out there. I think he could easily get 1 touchdown. I think he could have 6 targets. I want to see Jamar Chase go off for 300 yards. But as to Mon's point, if Jamar Chase is going off for 300 yards, are we in good shape? Because that means that we're not controlling the clock, that we need to throw that much. So I do think it's going to be a Noah Fant game, and I think that we're going to come out on top. With that, we are going to get out of here because everybody needs to get situated. Grab your bowl of Skyline, get your Publix subs and your breadsticks like Mon's got at his house. We are going to come to you immediately after the game live to get our reactions, to get our celebrations, and to get our final thoughts. So with that, guys, do you have any final thoughts before we get out of here and go sit down to watch this game?
I do. Go Bengals, go Reds. Let's win the day, Cincinnati. Let's go, baby.
Mon, what about you?
No, I'm good. I just want to win. I don't care how it happens. I just want to win. You know, I'm not going to lie. I'm really salty. I'm still pissed about Joe. I really am. I'm trying to hide it. You know, man,
you're doing a great job.
I just want you to know, I think there's 8 quarterbacks in the NFL that can win a Super Bowl. I think there's 8 quarterbacks. We got one.
Yeah.
We got one. And he's hurt right now. I want him back. Back. Get us to the dance, guys. I want somebody to make a shirt. Get us to the dance. That's all.
Get us to the dance, Browning. Okay, we'll have AI come with something.
And by the way, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us.
Yeah.
Over 200 people in here right now. You guys are awesome. We love you. We appreciate you.
Yes.
I'm very excited about celebrating with you guys a Bengals and a Reds victory. After
we're only worried about a Bengals victory. I will say we have one of the top 3. I want the Reds to make the playoffs for you guys too. We have one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL, but I will make a hot take and say that we have 2 of the top 28 quarterbacks in the NFL. Jake Browning should be a starter on another team. We have him locked up. I do believe he's going to come out here and get us to 3-0, and we'll be dancing. So with that, we're going to get out of here. We will see you guys immediately after the game. Houday, everybody, 3-0. Let's